Hi everybody, how are you doing? Welcome to my cabon. This is my office. I'm at home today. Yay, I don't have to work today. I don't have to work this weekend. So, actually I became lazy. Look at what time that I'm doing my video, my critique. But anyway, so be it. Mr. Mutua, thank you so much, Mr. Mutua, for teaching me how to cook ugali in Myra's video. For the Haitians in the house, I discovered what ugali was and that we have it. It's interesting when I look at my roots, my African roots, to discover them in the various countries in Africa. I did have a Kenyan roommate, but I never learned about ugali. I learned about jopate because we have something that we call pat in Haiti that is very close to jopate. Okay, our pat. Sometimes we put like nice meat in it and we fry it. We don't do it exactly like the Kenyans because the Kenyans is flat, 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 flat. But and the way they make it is really different. But I used to make pat for my Kenyan roommate, and she told me about chapati. Let me thank Mr. Mutua for showing me what is this ugali. So ugali, we in my Haitian culture, that's my mule. I don't know if I don't think there's any Haitian watching, but maybe at some point some Haitian might watch this. Ugali in Kenya turns out to be Haitian mai mule. My mule, because when we make my mule, I hate making my mule. Why do I hate making my mule? Ugali, it's because the way we do it, I think that because the corn is a little bit it's not turned into a flour completely. It's like very, very, very tiny, thin pieces of the corn that we cook as such. And because if we use the flour we're gonna make porridge with the flour. But to make something like the way that you guys are making in Kenya or making ugali, we use a thicker piece of the corn, but not that thick. I mean, I don't mean like the big chunks that they chop them off. I mean very thin, very fine chunk piece of the corn. So we beat it just like Mr. Mutua was beating it, that corn. That yeah, we beat it the same way. We wait until the water boil, but the difference is, of course, for us, even though, like, I don't understand why the Kenyans don't do that, or maybe some Kenyans do it, because I notice they just pour the flour dry into the boiling water, which is gonna make balls, especially as flour. Our maimule also can make balls. So what we do to prevent it from making balls is, while we're waiting for the water to boil, we put the maimule, because we put enough water so that it doesn't get like too liquidy. So we put the mai, which is the corn, in water. So we beat it in, like, in tap water. Not tap water, I mean, regular water, not lukewarm water. We So that we create this even mixture, and then we pour that mixture in the boiling water. And then we start beating it right away to prevent the balls. So that's why we beat it, so that it doesn't make balls. So that's how we do it here. I mean, yeah, I guess you could just pour it dry, but for me, it's easier because I hate, because when it makes balls, it's really annoying. And then the problem that here's why I hate making what you call the garlic. R is my moulin, mai moulin. Mai means corn. Okay, I hate making it because when it starts, like, because when you first pour it in, of course, the boiling is gonna slow down. But when it starts boiling again, what ends up happening is that the mai keeps, like, it keeps popping up, pop, pop. Not like popcorn, like, like a piece of it would pop out. I don't know if it's the same that we do. Then in Kenya you would know what I mean by it popping out as you're trying to harden it, like, because as the water evaporates and boils, and it cooks, it's gonna get harder. So as you are doing that, it pops up, and then it can land on your skin and it burns. so it leaves like little burn spots. So that's the really annoying part about cooking maimule for me. But I finally found out what ugali was. Oh my god. So ugali is maimule. And we do not eat ugali. We don't eat maimule with our hands because we don't and I noticed the softness that it had when Mr. Mutua made it. That's the softness of our maimule. Okay. But we don't eat it with hand. And sometimes we put stuff in it. Like we could put heron. We call it arançon in French. Aran. Okay, so but it's heron. We could like fry some heron and because what you could also do other than just putting regular normal boiling water is you could put oil, you put spices, you could put like garlic and parsley and thyme, whatever spices you like. And then if you want, and then you pour the water and let that boil. Or in addition to the spices that you put in the oil, you could also put heron in the oil or whatever, or a cod, pieces of cod or pieces of heron, and you cook it with it, and it's really, really delicious. So my moulin, and you could also do it with beans, like mix it with beans like that too. So with boiled beans, of course, the beans would have had to be boiled, and you strain the water, and then you just put the beans inside of the hot oil, and once everything fries up, you add water, and then you add the mai, which is your ugali. So in Haiti, we have something that is similar. I was trying to figure this out. I was like, is this like the cassava, like the gari? Because in or like fufu, because we have fufu in my mother's I guess my mother's heritage, tribal heritage. Somewhere in the past, they had fufu because they brought it to Haiti, and my mother knows about it. She showed me about fufu. Her mother used to cook it when her mother was alive for her. So interesting that we have similar. So looking at the food of our heritage. So, anyways, what do I have to say about Ayamara? A couple of things that is of concern to me. There's always something of concern. There's always something of concern. But Mara has been pretty good. He's relaxed. He's not chasing after Muzungu and embarrassing the race and promoting the colorism. He's not doing that, although that we see it and back at home with when we compare the treatment or even the absence. There was like an absence of people during the time of Miriam, and the very presence of everybody during the time of Coco Girl. Of course, yes, we cannot negate the fact that Miriam and Coco Girl are two different characters, completely different. However, we note that despite Coco Girl's wildness, she did attend her renewal purification when she ended up leaving Kenya. Okay, so whatever she had done, I guess she was getting purified for something. When she left Kenya and she met with Coco Boy, I don't remember the land where they were at, they went through a purification process. So, their religion is just as strict. Okay, however, one might be wondering, well, how could you say that Miriam was not welcome when she was invited? Well, let me tell you something. One thing I have to tell you is precaution. I think the other day I told the story about how I was invited to a party many years ago, and thank God I chose not to go, because God gives me wisdom and discernment, and discernment is extremely, extremely important. Okay, let's see, where does discernment? Miriam is an intelligent young woman. All right, and it takes an intelligent young woman to be able to travel as much as Miriam has traveled, and to be able to have the buildup of that she has on YouTube. Okay, it takes an intelligent mind. So Miriam was cautious even when they were in Goa, India. In Goa, India, Myra was making it look as if he was trying to come on to Miriam. Miriam, it's like me. When a man doesn't like me, if they have alternative, I thank God. God always makes me able to see. Okay, Miriam was friendly but cautious.
You have an American passport.
I do. I grew up in America. Yeah. For like 20 years.
Yeah.
Before that, I lived in Egypt for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And then before that, I was
You
in
have to
Somalia.
fast because of the music.
I was in Somalia.
She saw the signs. She knew it wasn't her. Myra was trying to come on to Miriam because Priya had insulted him. And Myra didn't tell us all the insults that he felt because he was trying to be positive. But we who are viewing, okay, those of us who knew better, we saw that Priya never liked Myra. I don't know about the restaurant. The first time he showed it her, we don't know because they were having their own private restaurant meeting that time. But once they got into Sri Lanka, it became very obvious from the beginning. It was, I think some of the viewers were the ones who kept on commenting, asking Priya to at least be gracious to the man, for everything he was doing. Okay, and she softened. Okay, so when he went to Goa and met Miriam, okay, after the humiliation that he encountered with Priya, because I think that's humiliating for a man. For a woman, I'm like, I wouldn't even get myself into that situation if I could have avoided it. And this is where Miriam comes in. Miriam has the intuition, okay? Obviously, if she has followed Mara, if she's seen his videos, obviously Priya had just you could say dump him, or not dump because they never dated, but refuse his offers. Okay, so she was a great recourse. What woman wants to be the one that they fly to, because somebody else dumped them? Because that means that you never loved me in the first place. With Miriam, so Miriam, note that the first choice was the Indian girl.
Bro, I'm gonna have to share this video with you.
Okay.
People in your comment section is gonna type in Gaya, that's my nickname. You know what Gaya the Mado my name is?
No.
Let me tell you. Gaya the Mado, basically it's like a stallion, black stallion. We use black stallion in a poetry to describe. Basically it's like a stallion, black stallion. We use black stallion in a poetry to describe the beauty of a black woman.
Okay.
And a lot of women have been bleaching their skin. Yeah. I'm sure you've seen.
Yeah.
And I'm here to empower them that black is beautiful and that you should always be proud of your skin color and don't change it.
Yeah.
So I've been inspiring a lot of Somali women to stop bleaching. So that's what my name represents. That I love being black and that I'm proud and I'm happy I'm black.
These are the things that are not spoken. People don't have to tell you something for you to be able to see. So Miriam had her perfect religion. Believe me, if Myra really was into Miriam would have read it and the situation would have been completely different. So Miriam had her perfect excuse of her religion as her savior. Okay, so, but nonetheless, this was, visiting Myra was a great opportunity. All right, India, I discovered, even though they're different continents, they are all connected by land. In India, Africa, Middle East, they're all connected by land. All right, so of course, it's a long route, but nonetheless. Anyway, however way she traveled, so when she came to Kenya, she had already planned in her head, okay, to protect herself from any recourse, okay, anything bad. I think she said it she wanted peace. We have to trust our instincts, and we have to be able to also read it in people, because when we are able to read these instincts in people, it helps us to see within ourselves more what the outside world see of us. Because there are, like Shakespeare, when he writes, he talks about the world as if there are mirrors, okay? Like the world is a stage. And when you think of a stage, okay, somebody is acting upon the stage and there's an audience that's viewing the actors. All right, so there's the eyes of the audience as the one mirror that the actor can see how they're acting. Okay, there is your own self reflection, which is that intuition that I'm talking about. Okay, the audience is like society or whatnot. There's your society. So you have the individuals. You have the social construct, which is like that reputation. Okay, that's an image of you. Okay, and you have your own self-image. You have to be able to differentiate between your self-image, the image that the audience have of you, and the image that society has of you. Okay, these three images. Okay, and when you know that, then you are able to survive. So, but that doesn't negate the reality that exists just because somebody cannot see it. Okay, so Miriam has a very strong self-image, and she had a very strong image of what that individual standing across from her felt. Okay, and she was able to make her decisions from there, and that's her survival technique, because that's how she's able to travel so far and not get into trouble. So there were many red flags to staying in that house. So now of course we might say, well, then Coco girl didn't have them, she stayed, and well, they went and they broke up and stuff. But anyway, they welcomed her more. Had those red flags that Miriam saw, okay, they may not be directly colorism, okay, but colorism is derivative of them. In fact, to the point where Miriam herself was mentioned to Myra something about along that way about girls bleaching. She came and around the circle, and she was mentioning the problem with colorism.
We use black stallion in a poetry to describe the beauty of a black woman.
Okay.
And a lot of women have been bleaching their skin.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen.
Yeah.
And I'm here to empower them that
Okay.
black is beautiful,
Yeah.
and that you should always be proud of your skin color and don't change it.
Yeah.
So I've been inspiring a lot of Somali women.
Yeah.
So she saw her welcoming before anybody can. So had that family been a little less colorist, then Miriam would have gotten that welcome whether she wanted it or not. But nonetheless, she didn't get it, and she was very intuitive. Okay, so when I go ahead and I compare, it may have been worse than it was for Ponte, for Miriam, as a woman. Especially Myra was trying to go around, and the goat is baying, or whatever it is that the goats do for babies. Are you ready to have babies? And she's like, no, next year. Her dignity as a woman. Come on now. You see, the thing about dignity as a woman is this. Do you know that people who are colorist, all right, or societies where you find colorism, they will take the fair and they will give them dignity no matter what, because it's almost like their fairness is their dignity. Okay? And in the black, they will remove what dignity they have. Okay? Because it's as if their blackness is their filth. Okay? So what they end up doing, okay, what is okay for Coco girl to do is not okay for Miriam to do. Okay? Because what they will attack her according to her dignity, that she's like this undignified woman. So yeah, Coco girl can be as dirty as she wants, but the society in Yabuhanse, okay, is not going to trash her the way they would have trashed Miriam had Miriam not come with her full dignity. So yes, Miriam did choose to stay away from that house, but that house was not readying for her welcome either, as they readied for the welcome of Coco girl. So anyway, that's what I had to say. Feedback from yesterday's video, okay, about the colorism. Let's go back to I Am Myra. What did I Am Myra do? Because I was saying, I started to say something about what I Am Myra did. I am Myra. I cannot believe you did this. I talked about Anne, and I noticed ever since I talked about Anne, okay, I haven't seen Anne in the videos that much. Oh my God. So now I am Myra got his visa. He's gonna leave soon, and I haven't seen Anne to react on what Anne is thinking. The only thing is I could imagine what Anne would be thinking when I saw Myra put his hand in that corn flour. Okay, his dirty hands. He washed the hands after it had touched the corn. I did not see Myra wash the hand before he put his hand in the corn flour jar. All right, and they don't even wash the corn because I noticed they put the corn in the boiling water from the jar. Okay, because we Haitians, we often wash the corn because my mother, for example, she taught us like, the vitamins or the chemicals that America puts, because in Haiti, it's like you eat the food right from the farm. Okay, as they do I guess, in Nambuhanse. Okay, but here in the United States, you buy the food, it's already processed. So I don't see them washing the corn. So my mother, she washes the corn before she makes it. So the corn is wet. We don't put the corn in the boiling water dry. Okay, the corn is washed, and then we put water in it, so that because it evens out the heat of the water. So Myra, a corn that they don't wash before they put it in the thing, puts his hand in the corn. What if your hand has bacteria, salmonella, okay, shigella, E. coli, okay, those gram-negative bacteria, or the gram-positive ones that also could make people sick, like Staphylococcus aureus, okay, could give people like stomach bugs, okay. Put his hand in there. I'm like, oh my God, where is Anne? Where is Anne for this? Because I'm like, you know what? I think these things really would drive Anne crazy, okay. And here's the other thing. I hear, like, at the beginning of the video, there's a pot that is missing its lid. And I'm thinking to myself, do you guys know what I'm thinking? Do you guys know what I'm thinking? Because if the lid got missing, okay, however way it got missing, but if it's what I'm thinking, okay, we wouldn't be able to see it on video, because if we see it on video, you know who's gonna see it on video. So Myra stays home all the time, right? And sometimes he cooks ugali. Sometimes he takes the food from the fridge. Oh, and oh my God, Myra is eating refrigerated food. So sometimes he takes the food from the fridge. So, sometimes maybe because the way Myra handles those items, the lid could have fallen and broken. All right, so this missing lid, Myra, do you know where the lid is? Is it broken in pieces in the garbage and hidden far from everybody? Just asking. So I know you're gonna leave the Matuas. I don't want to cause trouble, but at least Myra, if you broke that lid, you better replace it. That's all I have to say to you, Myra. So yeah, so Myra is leaving, and and it looks like he's leaving on good terms with Mr. Mutua, but Mr. Mutua has had a lot of patience. Okay? But thank you for Mr. Mutua for loving Myra so much. That's love. That kind of patience is absolute love. Mr. Mutua and Mr. Lewis met, okay, to discuss Myra's new shirt. And the next thing we know is Mr. Lewis comes, and I think Myra does that on purpose. I think Myra put his hand in that corn, and why he interrupted the elderly gentleman, because Mr. Lewis was going to talk to Mr. Mutua. Mr. Mutua, there's something that you and I had to discuss. And he comes in, he's in the back trying on his new shirt. And as soon as he hears they're gonna discuss something, he comes into the middle. Look, it's brand new. It has this tag on it. It's brand new. And I'm like, oh my God, this is something for the reactors to react over. I'm like, you know what? Myra is beginning to like the reactions. He loves them. He loves it. He loves it. He loves it because we are like his mother and like his big sisters. I haven't seen his big sister. All right, so he's adopted us, the reactors. Okay, at least the women as his big sisters, the boys, the men as his older brothers or his brother. Okay, and accepting it, and he's enjoying it, and he's laughing because he purposely put his hand in that jar so we could react about it. He and that missing lid, he knows we're gonna react about that missing lid, and the way he interrupted Mr. Lewis. Okay, so I think I've said all I've had to say. I've covered the issue with Miriam. She did not get the welcome of Coco Girl. I've covered the issue with I Am Marwa's little nuances. Okay, I don't know where he's going. Maybe somebody knows. I noticed that the passport is blue because I know the dark navy blue one. That's the color that you get in the U.S. That's given by some kind of U.S. embassy. But the light blue passport, I don't know what country that is. Anybody knows what country the light blue passport is? You could jot down your comments. Thank you for watching. And as I would love to have some Haitian viewers, and me and my effort to break through the social codes here in the United States and the social codes within the Haitian culture, okay, the codes of colorism, I am going to share what I would have shared at a church today. Okay, so if you don't want to hear me, I'm done with Myra. You can exit, and those who want to stay and hear this French Creole song, you are welcome to enjoy the song with me, because it's a little bit about traveling. It's in what is called the Haitian Chant d'Espérance, which is our song hymn book. Okay, Chant d'Espérance is Creole 59. You're welcome to sing with me. Pays loin, loin ici, c'est la mwen vle ale. Pays sa gen an pil moun perdi. Moun sa yo pa konnen Jésus-Christ, c'est sauveur, li remen nou tellement li mouri. Pays loin, 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 loin ici. Mwen dwe ale, jouk tout moun fin konnen bonne nouvelle Jésus-Christ. Li voye mwen ale yon kote difficile, et lui sa se yon lieu très très di. Moun la yo gen ke di yo pa pe vle koutem, mais quand même yo bezwem mwen pou ale. Pays loin, 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 loin ici. Mwen dwe ale, jouk tout moun fin konnen bonne nouvelle Jésus-Christ. Gen an pil moun ki toujou yo deyo, Jésus-Christ vle yo vin jodia. Li voye mwen ale nan lot peyi pi loin, rassemble yo, mene yo bali. Pays loin, 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 loin ici. Mwen vle ale, mwen dwe ale, jouk tout moun fin konnen bonne nouvelle Jésus-Christ. Sing the last one with me. Pays loin, 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 loin ici. Mwen dwe ale, jouk tout moun fin konnen bonne nouvelle Thank you so much for watching. May God bless you. May you have a beautiful Sunday. And God bless. Thank you. Adios. Bye bye. Au revoir. Pays loin, loin ici, c'est la mwen vle ale. Pays sa gen an pil moun perdi. Moun sa yo pa konen Jésus-Christ, se sauve li reme, nou telman li mouri. Pays loin, 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 loin ici. Mwen dwe ale, jouk tout moun fin konen, bonne nouvelle, Jésus-Christ, li voye mwen ale, yon kote difficile, côté ça, c'est un lieu très très dur.